Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today. Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
All right, welcome to the Survival and Basic Badass podcast with Kevin and Chuck. Today we're going to talk about being held captive, kidnapped, what you got to do, evasion, how not to get kidnapped, and how to get out of it, I guess. Kevin, what do you got?
I mean, who doesn't want to be hogtied and covered with lotion and have your skin cut off and worn as a suit? I don't. That's who. That's who. So that's what we're talking about. We're not necessarily talking about Buffalo Bill. We're talking about how to prevent yourself from being kidnapped. How to react when you are getting kidnapped today, right? I mean, there's a lot of situations where this comes up. I know, you used to hear about it a lot in Afghanistan and Iraq in the beginning of the wars over there.
Yeah.
You don't hear about it so much anymore.
No.
But you hear about being held hostage in...
You know what I think, though? Now they're just not reporting it.
You think
I think
so?
it's still happening, but I think they just... What did we just went through with Iran right now? Didn't we just pay
yeah, but they've been in there for a long time.
They're old school prisoners?
Yeah, they've been in there for like 10 years. But, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. You hear about it quite a bit with Somali pirates, with people being held for ransom in different countries, Mexico,
I hear a lot of stories. Any of the border states.
Right. Rio de Janeiro in Brazil happens quite a bit. And a lot of countries in Africa do that as just a way to make money. Even India does it quite a bit.
Who doesn't like money?
Who doesn't like money? In the United States, it doesn't usually pan out.
You know what
for
it
people.
is? I think they're not doing it in the United States because the American dollar just has no value, and they're like, you know what? Really, what are you going to give me?
Well, for some reason, kidnapping is like a top priority of the FBI, and it doesn't work out. You know, if you're kidnapped, you might get killed, but the kidnapper is never going to really get the money. You know?
Yeah, they don't play around.
It's not worthwhile in the United States. But so we're going to talk about different scenarios, different ways to if you are in a high risk place,
All right.
How to behave.
So when I all right, say I'm working, I get assigned to a job down in Mexico City. Mm-hmm. And I'm there. I got my family. They're staying in a big compound. We're pretty secure in the compound. At least I believe we are. And I'm going to work every day. What do I want to do?
Well, one thing that actually I didn't really think about until I started looking into this is you can get kidnapper insurance. Really? You can get insured so that they can actually pay the ransom. And believe it or not, they want to get paid and they don't want to have to kill people to do it.
Oh,
so sometimes just paying them off and getting the person free.
So maybe your company just buys the kidnapping and insurance?
Yeah, get the insurance if you're in a high-risk place.
Right.
But for yourself, for your own personal safety, things that you can do for yourself is, we've talked about it a lot about situational awareness, right?
Situational awareness, big in the last episode. And
me personally, even just on my regular day-to-day commute, I take different routes.
Okay.
I try and vary times. Times I'll be at certain places.
I always have the, GPS tracking on my phone going because, man, I drive all over the place and I'm going a different road every day.
Yeah.
You can never count on.
I always keep that option turned off, but it doesn't mean they can't follow you if they want to.
I'm thinking, if they're going to waste their time, let's make them work for it. Gee, why did he stop at this house? Why did he stop at that house?
Mm-hmm.
You know, keep them guessing.
But, yeah, so you kind of want to just change up your routine, you know?
Yeah.
Change up your routine. Don't do the same thing every day. Don't let them make a regular plan on
So you don't
want to
see, like, the same hooker every week. That's a mistake.
Change that up.
Mix it up?
Yeah. Buy your drugs from different people, you know, that sort of
Play
thing.
the field a little bit, you know?
Yeah. There's
I mean,
a whole
really,
world out there.
if you're going out with just one girl, maybe your OPSEC needs to be stepped up, you know?
Just for security reasons.
Security reasons.
But another thing is when you're in foreign countries like that, you don't want to make yourself stand out as a target.
You don't want to look like an American, because turns out that's what a target looks like.
Yeah, don't wear Gucci shoes and that sort of shit. Get rid of your baseball cap.
Italy, you might fit in with the Gucci shoes. Yeah.
If you're in Mexico, if you're in basically any country that's not the United States, then ditch your baseball cap. That's a dead giveaway.
All right.
You don't want to do that. You can
Stop
see
bathing.
when you travel. Yeah.
All right.
That'll help you fit in Mexico. But I mean, it's when you go to different countries, you see how different you are, how much you stand out compared to the people that live there. So I mean,
you got to
take
show
that
a little
into
more chest hair is what you really got to focus on.
Yeah, open up those top buttons.
Top buttons.
Everybody likes
some
that.
Gold chains. Maybe not gold chains. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, those are some basic ideas. You know, it's a lot of it is being conscious to the environment you're in.
Right.
You know, if you're talking about kidnapping in the United States, you're typically talking about kids getting taken, and that's generally speaking, that's like your ex-wife or ex-husband type thing. You know,
but down in South America, they don't care about the kids because nobody's going to pay for kids. They're like, yeah, it's a kid. We'll have more, whatever. All right, but they want the grown-up who's got, bringing in the bucks, right?
Yeah. And, another thing I read, just, not to get ahead of ourselves, but they said that if a kidnapper calls you and offers you the ransom, how much for a ransom, don't just agree to it.
Really?
Because if they say, we want $50,000, and you say, I'll bring it to you in 2 days, they'll know that you can get more than $50,000. So you got to work them down. Otherwise, they're just going to keep working you up until they get everything you got.
Now, what was the movies there? There was a couple. Now, Man on Fire.
Yeah, I remember. That was a good one.
That was a good
movie, yeah.
I don't really go for Denzel movies, and that one was tough.
No, that was a good movie.
Something about having your hands duct taped to a steering wheel and your fingers cut off one at a time.
Yeah,
that wasn't
unpleasant. But I liked that movie. There
was another one down in Mexico, too, and I'm trying to think. Same thing, though, where they were trying to...
Yeah.
I just remember the wife in, like, a safe house trying to work it out.
I think it was Meg Ryan.
That sounded right.
And that Australian guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And she had a CEO, exec husband type thing that got stolen. Yeah.
That sounds right. So, these things actually happen, though. And,
They do happen. It's not likely to happen to you.
Not if you're living in New York.
No, but it is likely to happen to a couple people.
All right.
Every year it's happening, it's happening in all these places. So when you're going to a different country, it's something you might want to look into. How likely are you to be kidnapped in certain places? Some of them actually surprised me when I looked up the capitals. India.
Really?
India. It's quite a common way to make a little bit of extra cash. I wouldn't have guessed India. No,
I wouldn't have thought India, but who really thinks about India with anything? And maybe that's the missing link there. All right, so now we'll kind of get to the meat within the nut here, because not much you can do about that, and obviously you can't live your life on guard, and optimal situational awareness.
Yeah, if you're gonna walk around worrying about things, I wouldn't think kidnapping would be on the top of the list, but. There are basic precautions you can take that you should just be taking just in general, Yeah. Watch for people following you. Watch that sort of stuff. I watch for that all the time, man. If I get sketchy, I run people off the road if they've been following me too long.
Well, that guy's been behind me for 2 lights. This is ridiculous. No, it's bad. So, all right. So moving along. So, all right. So somebody comes up and I'm going to work. I'm the guy in Mexico, and you know what? My mixing up my routine didn't work because I only got past my mailbox, and somebody runs my car off the road. They throw a black hood over my head, and they throw me in the back seat of their car, and manage to get some zip ties on my hand, and we're off driving.
All right. Well, let's back that up a little bit.
All right.
Because I've heard mixed reviews on that sort of situation.
That doesn't happen, or
no, that does happen.
Oh, okay.
But what you should do in that sort of situation?
All right.
Let's say you get T-boned or something like that. Now, somebody that knows what they're doing is going to incapacitate you immediately. That's the primary thing.
Okay.
They're going to want to break bones, mace you, make you unable to fight back. That's
like
your
that.
chance
that
right there.
like good
when
thinking.
they're attacking you, that's your chance. Do whatever you got to do. Bite, scratch, run towards people. Anything you can do. Grab onto another person. Make them take another person with you.
There you go. I like that. You're a smaller woman, child. Yeah. You want to make noise. You want to make a big scene.
Make it an ordeal.
Anybody around you. All right. Make them work for it.
The chances are you're going to be incapable of defending yourself before you even know you're in trouble.
Right.
So that first 30 minutes. That's the first 30 minutes
all right.
that you're going to end up dead.
Sounded like the first minute, but okay.
Well, no, the first 30 minutes is when they're high adrenaline rush. They're pumping. They're watching to see if somebody's following them. They're trying to see if they're being chased.
Okay.
Somebody's tracking them, and at that point, they're not that deep into it. They can cut your throat or put a bullet in your head and dump you. So, don't be an issue after you're already in the vehicle and you're zip tied. Don't be an issue.
All right.
Just let them do their thing. Be calm. Take it easy. You're not going to get away at that point anyway.
Once you're in the car,
yeah,
go for it. Unless they stop at the intersection, you pop the door open, drop out. No.
If you can get away, get away.
All
definitely.
Right.
But you don't want to just struggle just to be a pain in the ass because that's when people's blood is pumping.
All right. One of the things I read was actually that if you're especially if you're a girl, somebody smaller, by acting weaker and very, timid and submissive, you might have better shot of overpowering them or,
when your chance comes.
Better chance of catching them off guard.
Right.
Because they're like, oh, she's not really going to put up a fight, whatever. If you're the big, 6'2" guy with, the big muscles and whatever, probably not going to work for you, and you might just look like a
you might
sissy,
look like a bitch.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe that's not the move for you. But, we can all look at different things and, see what the right move is.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of that then is moving into the actual stay with the kidnappers. Now, different situations, different scenarios, different reasons for the kidnapping can be a huge difference in the amount of time that you're planning on staying with these kidnappers. It could be hours, days, could be months or even years. Some of the people that were kidnapped by Somali pirates, some of the ships that were captured,
right?
They were held hostage for a long time. So that sort of thing is something you want to keep in mind. This may not be resolving itself in the first week.
All right. So we get abducted. They got us. We're in the car. We're not fighting back too much. We're waiting for an opportunity now. So we want to pay attention to what's going on around us, see if we can kind of get a feel for where they're taking us.
Yeah, look for your openings.
But also, hey, where am I going? So that way, when I'm in the little hut in the woods, do I run east? Do I run west? Do I go up the mountain, down the mountain? What are we going by? Where is there going to be trouble? Am I going to escape and then run right into their base camp? It's...
Yeah. That's a lot of those situations are. Let me look at my notes here. One of the things is you have to remember that they want you alive.
Right.
You're not good. You're not valuable if you're dead.
All right.
So a good way,
doesn't mean they won't bust you in the face and
knock
some
it doesn't
teeth
mean
out.
it doesn't mean you might not end up with some broken bones, but you want to kind of befriend your captors. You want to get them on your side. If you speak the language,
okay,
speak it to them.
All right.
Try and get them to have some
Instead
sort of
a personal connection is really the key.
Right.
Don't freeze up. You know, you want to really. Some people really just panic and kind of, you know, make sure you're taking it in. Make sure you're, you know, seeing and embracing what's going on. Mm-hmm. That way, you know, you don't miss things and you don't miss an opportunity.
Right. One thing that I learned on there that I didn't know was that whole Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
It's kind of made up.
Really?
It happened to like 3 or 4 people, but it's not like
and I think it's more over time. I mean, a lot of time.
But it's not a common thing that happens to most people.
I did not know that.
You have to be a certain type of personality type, and you have to be in the right situation for that to actually affect you, where you actually have empathy for your abductors.
All right. So one of the things I did learn is you're better off in groups. Mm-hmm. So if you are the bad guy and you're kidnapping people, you want to separate everybody. You want to make sure they're not in the cell right next to each other, slipping notes, whispering. Mm-hmm. None of it. You want them separated.
Right.
But odds are, end of the world, shit hits the fan kind of thing. They might be herding you all together, like FEMA camps, for instance, where you're all, then you can work together. One, that's huge for morale of the captives. And 2, it's really going to help you coordinate and escape, is the bottom line.
Right.
So that's something, you know, you might want to think about.
Yeah. You're going to want to keep your mind and your body sound, you know what I mean? Read anything that you can get your hands on.
Okay.
You know, stay physically fit while you're doing it. Do your push-ups and sit-ups if you've
and
got
just
the
keeping
chance
your
to
body
do it.
moving.
Right.
When you're sitting still, when you're laying in the bunk, you get that whole atrophy thing happening.
Yep.
You go to jump up and make your break.
Yeah, and your legs don't work the way you
your
expect
legs,
them to.
Nothing's the way you expect. So you want to look around. So they put you in a camp. They put you in a little room. What tools are available to you? So what's around? What can you use as a weapon? What can you use to cut through the wall? What can you, different things.
Yeah,
what's available? The leg of a chair.
Right.
Maybe the chair itself. Maybe the table. Maybe I'm going to pick up a table and I'm going to run through you. These are the different things. But you got to look and think outside the box. Maybe light bulbs. Man. And what kind of tools can give you a diversion? Maybe I take the light out and then the guy comes in and is distracted. And, what's that? What are you doing? Yeah, he's going to get worried about you, but he's also going to, try and figure out what's going on.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people don't think about that. You look at a door, and you might be able to ram against that door 100 times and not make it move, but you can kick a hole through drywall.
Through the drywall. Now, that's another thing when they're bringing you in. Or did you pay attention? What rooms are next to you?
Right.
Do you want to go right? Do you want to go left? What's... And then if... All right, what was it in that movie, War Games? Right?
Oh, with Matthew Broderick?
Matthew Broderick, right? He gets locked in... They're in the Air Force Base there. And they lock him in the room. And he's like, well, I don't have something here. And then he goes through all the drawers and whatever and ends up finding, all kinds of tools that were locked. I think one of the drawers was locked, and he pulls out a second drawer and reaches up through, and but it's thinking outside the box.
Right.
Think like MacGyver. Sometimes tools, what you expect is not always. Who thinks of a light bulb?
Right.
Oh, but if I break that light bulb, I might be stabbing you in the neck. You're not that happy.
Yeah, that sounds unpleasant.
He's gonna get mercury poisoning in like 5 years.
Yeah, in 5 years he's gonna be sorry.
Yeah, I don't even know what happens with mercury poisoning. Maybe he's gonna drop 5 IQ points. Whatever happens, damn,
Yep.
we got him. But like you said, all right, I'm gonna punch through the wall and I'm gonna move into the next room, and then maybe I have more options available to me. What else?
Well, let me see here. Don't try and they say don't try to negotiate your own release.
No, that doesn't work.
Yeah, it's apparently you and I don't know shit about that.
No,
and there are people that are specialists at that sort of thing.
I always hear they're specialists, but then I'm not so sure they're that special. But I do know if you're like, hey, I got $100,000 in my safe at home, and your wife's like, yeah, the most we have is $25,000.
Yeah.
And then that's a little awkward.
That's
that can't be working
that's a
to
bad
your
situation.
advantage. Because you got to assume they have more information than you do.
Right. Right. And when you think about these sort of things, they're not going to... nobody's going to try and abduct you if they feel like you can kick their ass.
Okay.
So you have to expect that you're going to be outgunned and out-muscled. You might be dealing with, 5 or 10 people.
Yeah, but do they really know?
They don't know Chuck.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't know Chuck.
They don't know. I mean,
but that doesn't apply to everybody.
Preppingbadass right here.
Yeah.
It's what you're not understanding.
That would be a mistake to mess around with Chuck.
Exactly.
For the common man. The common man, that's a different situation.
Right. Next, one of the things I learned from my kids was always into magic and different things. One, they all learned, lock picking. Ethan, who we've had on the show for brief moments in the past, he talks about, he's got one of those sets with like 5 different locks, and you try, 3 tumblers, 2 tumblers, 5 tumblers, and whatever, but you practice lock picking. That's huge. Being able to have a skill like that. Honestly, it doesn't take a lot to master getting out of handcuffs.
Yeah?
It turns out that's not that hard of a skill.
Really?
But one of the things that I learned, they always talked about Houdini always had handcuff keys everywhere.
Yeah.
And they would search them, but, he's always got a couple of hidden, in his mouth and whatever. Now, I don't know who keeps handcuff keys in their mouth all the time.
On the day-to-day basis, that's not something I generally carry around in my mouth.
But one of the tricks that I came up with, if you take a handcuff key, all right, imagine like the regular Smith & Wesson key, right? And it's got the little back for the lock and the whatever, and the regular key. Now, don't want to get off task, but you don't want to buy the plastic ones. They suck. They break. They don't work.
Keys?
They have little plastic keys, and they're like, ooh, you won't set off a metal detector. Nobody will find it. But it doesn't work as a key.
Yeah.
It looks like a key. But it might work. It might not.
Okay.
All right. So that being said, take your Smith & Wesson handcuff key, take a hacksaw blade, cut a thin little slit right at the bottom of the circle, along the key shaft. And then, so you're cutting through the ring, right?
Right.
And then just slip it through the end of your belt loop. Or, not your belt loop, sorry. The fly on your pants. The zipper.
Oh, okay.
And you hook it on there. And then you have the little tab hanging there. You know what? When people pat you down and check you, turns out they don't get too crazy in the crotch most of the time.
Okay.
And if it goes off for a wand, that's his zipper.
Right.
It's not a...
So that's interesting. I never even thought of that.
You might not be in the cell and not be searched that well that's going to be a problem. But you know what? In the back of a police car, good chance they're not going to see it before you get there. And guys who aren't trained professionals to look for crap, they're not going to see it. And that's a good one that I've actually had in the arsenal for a while. And what's cool is you could take it off from pair of pants to pair of pants. Now, usually what I've done is, once I put it on one, I'll kind of crimp it down with pliers so it stays permanent. Because handcuff keys are like $1 a piece. If they're like $3 if you buy a good one. But if you buy a 5-pack or a 6-pack, they're not much.
Right.
And then just when I get new pants, I throw it in there. And it's one more thing.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, zip ties. If you now you have a rough edge that you can rub the zip tie against the back of the handcuff key or the whatever. Turns out you can saw through zip ties.
Yeah.
Pretty easy. There's a bunch of videos on the internet, breaking zip ties. You bring your hands up.
I've seen quite a few.
Go to throw them. Same thing for duct tape. It's basically the same principle. And trying to get that off, maybe, put some effort into that.
Yeah.
These are things, again, we're giving you all the angles. We know you can't prepare for everything.
Right.
But again, if you have these things in the back of your head, maybe you'll, come up with something. But yeah, take note on my handcuff tip. And when that pays off, you guys got to throw me a bone, all right?
Yeah, that's interesting. I never heard of that or thought of that.
Yeah,
You've
no,
got
that
the,
was. I think that came from one of the magician things.
Yeah, no,
I
you've
don't
got
know.
some crazy kids, so they get into that sort of
Do
stuff.
have some crazy kids.
Yep.
So the other thing, you want to, like I had mentioned earlier, you want to be on top of your orientation. Where am I? What's going on in the building they bring me in?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even going as far as counting steps as people come up the hallway, things like that. But also remember I mentioned, diversions. Maybe you put, I don't know, you crumple up the blanket that you're using and it looks like you're laying on one side of the room while you hide in the other.
Mm-hmm.
Or, whatever. I mean, locate your options of how you might be able to make your break.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to unscrew things, look up, look in the ceiling or, where to go and hide in cabinets. Or what happens if, you're in a room like the guy in War Games. What if you're punching through, you're held captive in there for days.
Mm-hmm.
What if you're slowly digging through the wall behind the cabinet? They walk in, all they're seeing is the cabinet. My point is, not that that's where you want to dig a hole. My point is, think outside the box.
Right. Right.
What options do you have that might buy you time to have the element of surprise?
Yeah. Now, one of the scenarios that I saw that I hadn't thought of a lot is in Mexico, northern Mexico, Americans there.
Yeah.
What they'll do is they'll abduct people, and then every day bring them to the ATM and pump out the maximum amount of money. And another thing that they do is they'll disable your phone.
Okay.
And then call your family and say that they have you, whether they do or not, and get them to give you money. You get them to give them money for your release, even though they don't have you. So if you're in a foreign country and your phone doesn't work suddenly, might want to contact your relatives, contact the people that have money, let them know you're okay. But a lot of these things are.
Now, what is it they say I always see on the internet? Sorry to cut you off. I lose my train of thought here.
Are you talking about the Nigerian prince?
Oh, you know that guy? Because
I
was trying to work that.
He sent me a check.
You got the check? No, I was going to say, what is it you always see on the internet about if you put in your ATM code backwards that it's supposed to notify the police?
Oh, I
don't know if it's true.
Oh, we'll have to look at.
But they say if somebody's holding you at gunpoint, whatever, go to the ATM. You put in your PIN code backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly, it'll give you the money and notify the police.
Really?
So I don't know if that's true.
That's interesting.
But what I would say is, if you put it in backwards and it doesn't work, I was nervous. Let me try it again.
Exactly.
So I don't know that you'd be really too hurt by that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if my PIN code is the same forward and backwards?
Oh, then you're screwed.
I might be in trouble. Note to self.
Yeah, I got to change my PIN code now.
So sorry I cut you off and you were probably going somewhere good.
1111.
Now you just put it on the freaking podcast.
I got to go to the bank.
Damn it. So, anyway.
No, I had no point there. I just thought it was interesting that there's a lot of kidnappings and a lot of these sort of situations that happen that I never even thought about. Like things that aren't an issue that I would ever worry about before, now make a lot more sense. I was actually doing some research online.
All right.
And I came across this. I started typing in, these different scenarios and different, searching different things, and I came up with a group of them that said, how to perform a kidnapping, how to get away with kidnapping, and I was like, nice try, FBI.
Oh, they caught you.
Nice try.
That's sad.
But apparently there is all sorts of websites that will tell you how to kidnap somebody.
Ah, nice.
And they're under the guise of, I'm a fiction writer, and I was looking for some scenarios.
Ah.
Yeah. All right, whatever. I'm not buying
it. Not these fiction writers. All right, I think. Are we good?
Yeah, that's about all I got.
I think that's about it. When you escape, it's really awkward when you run back into the guys that you just got away from.
Yeah,
just putting that out there.
Yeah.
Pay attention. Know what's going on. I know you're looking for any moment. But
what was that Goonies? Remember the movie Goonies?
Goonies.
When Chunk escapes and he runs out to the street and he waves down the
it's
car.
Like, hey, my friends!
And it's one of the Fratellis.
Damn the Fratellis. So that's it. Watch out. This might be. Now, I guess you had talked about one of our previous episodes. Supposedly Ethan's telling me that we're getting too rowdy and you hear the mic cutting out because it's too loud or whatever. Okay. Well, whatever. But he said the episode that we put is, this was kind of crappy. You mentioned something about Ethan produced this episode. We were just throwing him a bone. Nice. So don't let him go down for that.
The one that never aired?
Yeah, I don't know. No, because he was very concerned. He's like, people are going to think I'm really bad at editing things. So, all right, don't send Ethan any hate mail if you guys, are worried about the sound quality. You can send it all to preppingbadass@gmail.com. And
we'll promptly disregard it.
And we'll send it to the trash can and whatever. Leave me alone. Badass. Right here. Yeah, that's all I can say. Badass. So, anyway, that said, leave us a review on the iTunes. Tell us how the sound's doing. Mm-hmm. And,
now you're saying something about, we're out of patches.
We're out of patches.
What were you saying about that?
You guys go over to patreon.com, search Survival Badass or Prepping Badass. I'm sure you'll be able to find us somewhere in there. And I'm sure I'll put a link in the show notes. But if you guys donate just $1 a month, I'll send you a patch.
All right.
Just put your info in there and we'll get you hooked up.
Mm-hmm. I'll send you a letter. I'll put on some lipstick and kiss the thing and spray some perfume on it.
Perfume, scented envelope. Nice. Might have some beard hair stuck in there, but whatever. Whatever you guys are into. So, that said, stay safe and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today. Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
This episode is brought to you by Boat Trader, America's largest boating marketplace. Whether you're buying, selling, or upgrading, the Boat Trader app makes it easy. With the biggest selection of new and used boats from dealers and private sellers. Browse, compare, and even apply for financing. All in one place. Download the Boat Trader app and start your search today.